Hey, hey, hey. Y'all always say this, hey, hey, hey. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Part 2 to the book clean out. Number 1, I've been packing a box to send off to a friend who homeschools. And the first video you saw was basically a lot of the things that I'm giving away. And as I'm cleaning off this cart that you see right there, I am just going to share things that I am keeping, things that will be going into next year. And so this is kind of a clean out. We're getting ready to list our house. So I'm trying to get everything into one space into our garage so that this and all the rooms look clutter free. I cluttered my other 2 kids' bedrooms so they look good. Still trying to work in this space because, of course, you know, when you have husband and wife in one bedroom, he got his stuff, you got your stuff. And this was in here only because of our kitchen being remodeled. I do also have a little video coming as far as with that space and what it looks like now. Yeah, excuse me, sorry. And so I took a little break. I will say the devil tried to make his place and take his place in this house and tried to, you know, do the things that he does. And so I really needed to take space and kind of evaluate where our family was and all of that stuff. I hate to procrastinate, but I like to update you guys and share like where we're going, what we're doing as a homeschool family, because that is what I do on my channel. And so sometimes you got to pause, and it's okay to pause. It's okay to not do any homeschooling. It's okay to not do anything whatsoever when the noise becomes too loud. And yeah, we never want to sit and let the noise get louder and louder and not really focus on what we need, what our kids need, what our husbands need. It is what it is. And so, even on some days of me going to work, and putting in 50% because it's like, it's a responsibility, but yet knowing that, you know, just carrying stuff, but knowing that you still have to go to work sometimes. There's not the option to take off, but guess what? We keep moving forward and we do what we have to do. So here we go. Yeah. Books that I'm keeping in my collection, piercing me together. And these are books that we haven't read because, like I said, in this year, the end of last year, our reading really was terrible, but we are coming back and your girl is doing her thing to kind of get her head back in the game. Kind of fell off. There are birds chirping really loud, okay? I'm like, they must have having a whole conversation. And so, yeah, we about to be back, okay? The Door of No Return. Also keeping this book. I got this book at a homeschool sale. It was free, made to crave, and I've always wanted to read it. So I just grabbed this up. The Writer's Handbook. This is a book that I had in my husband's stash, not downstairs, believe it or not, that he was like going through books, and I was like, oh, we keeping this. My goal this summer is to read and really focus on writing and grammar. You will see more books as we go along that you will tell like, wow, you're really going in on writing and grammar. Praying scripture over your children. This is a book that I'm keeping. The Handbook of Grammar and Composition by Becca. This is also a book that I will be using as a very good resource as we do our grammar next year. I will also say this was free too, Grammar and Composition. This is actually a 9th grade grammar text, and I got this because I felt like I was going to buy an 8th grade grammar from Jack Chris Publishing. If you didn't see that video where I did I do a flip through of that this year? It might have been an older version of Jack Chris Publishing grammar, and that I end up using instead of Christian Light Education this year. I kind of broke up those LA subjects. because their 8th grade book for that same company looked like it kind of covered the same topics. And next year, going into grammar, I really don't want to do a thing with my 8th grader as I start from nouns. I kind of want to start from where he needs to work. And so in his 7th grade book, I just basically matched up all the things that they covered. There was like 1 or 2 topics that they covered in the 8th grade that weren't covered in the 7th grade. And I was like, I'm not buying a book just for that. So the notes that I took this year from his 7th grade, we will start with this 9th grade grammar and composition. This was also free at the Homeschool Curriculum thing. And I was like, I'm about to use this. So thank you. Another book wasn't free. I actually couldn't find this lady. I gave her $2 and I actually owe her $3. Lord, hopefully we run into each other next year and I will give her $3. Writing Inc. Incorporated. I actually plan on purchasing a writing curriculum from I believe her name is Jada A on Instagram. Sorry, I'm a little like with the weather going from 90 degrees to 60 degrees within 3 days. What is going on? But yeah, Writers Inc. is another resource on writing, but I am investing in a program where whatever writing they hand in, it gets teacher evaluation over the writing. So I'm not doing the work. I don't want to do that this year, especially as they're getting older. I really want somebody else to look at it, and it comes with 24 months of teacher evaluation from the students' work. So that I feel like it's worth the investment, so I'm going to do that. This was also there. This is the teacher's book for that grammar thing, so I grabbed that. Also there, Everyday Math. I thought this would be cute for my 8th grader to do. Just as like, I love when there's little things you could throw on as a math warm-up for your day, not necessarily your math, but I always go back, believe it or not, to multiplication, fractions, decimals, sometimes long division, because I feel like just keeping it fresh in your mind, even if it's like, oh, I know how to do that already, but why not? You know what I'm saying? Or even like math vocabulary, because sometimes curriculums don't really use the math vocabulary, but then if you go and take a test, they will use, words that relate to math. So sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes not. I had this for this year, the Cartoon Guide to Chemistry. One of my kids did read this because they started chemistry, but I am also keeping this for my soon-to-be 8th grader for next year, because he's going to do half year of chem and half year of like physics, kind of like an intro, preparing for high school, because his brothers will finish chem probably around Christmas time and then start physics kind of like in January. We're going to try to cram them into the years. And I know I have to come along and help them with that as well, because that might be crazy. Henry's Freedom Box. We never read this, and this was free, and I was like, I'm taking this. I might end up keeping this, because who doesn't want to keep their African American reads? This is something newly that I bought, chemistry. I actually love the layout of this, where you have a chapter, and then at the end of the chapter, it kind of gives you stuff to read. I'm trying to see it. I recently, calculate. This is like the end of the chapter review. Sometimes they have things for you to do, and sometimes they have questions that you can answer at the end, which I thought was really cool. And little labs that you could do. Excuse me. And so I got this to add with the comic. I also have other stuff too. I have another chem book. I think I have 2 more chemistry books. I also have a book on the periodic table. Some of the books that I'm keeping that are already in my garage, you won't see until I pull them out for curriculum. What do you stand for teens? I am holding on to this for now. I don't know if we're using this next year, but my goal for them with Bible next year is to do, I I want to study John, and depending on how long that study is, I kind of want to study Revelations, but we'll see how that looks. And I don't have any details. The only thing I'm really working on right now is my grade 8 stuff, and as of right now, I feel like I have everything laid out as far as what I want to do for him. Finalizing history. I know I wanted to do African American history next year for everybody, but wanting to dual enroll and wanting to do at home, kind of like, so we're doing all the same subjects. That is really my goal next year, even if they are dual enrolled. So it, like, even if so our read alouds can be like with whatever we're doing and not just random read alouds. Latin and Greek word roots. This is for my 8th grader. And so for language next year, this is a high school book. It says high school and college students. So I will be using this next year to go through. This is kind of how it's set up. If you want to see inside of this, let me know, because I could do a flip through of it. But this is going to be his language for 8th grade. And so I was like, oh, what if we do a language? If, per se, that he does Spanish 1, because my junior has procrastinated taking Spanish. So, and we're not going back to one of our homeschool groups. We're just doing the one for fine arts next year. And so my 10th grader, who will be in 11th grade, he practically could take Spanish 3, but I might do it to where we do something like Talk Box Mom, or something to where the whole house can become conversational, and then I can call like his Spanish 3 conversational Spanish, to where like when we start something, you have to say that in Spanish for like the rest of the school year, so it can actually get us like speaking in Spanish and not necessarily just like, okay, we took the class, but we didn't learn anything. So yeah, that's that. Something I already had, reading strategies. You guys probably seen these on the haul. And writing strategies. This is something I will be reading over the summer, as, yeah, the writing is coming in hot next year. Coming in hot. We coming in hot. What is wrong with me? Anyway, another book on chemistry. This was gifted to me from Life on the Ranch. And so this will be going with the other chemistry book to kind of work together to just give him a nice intro to chemistry and a nice intro to physics. With that being said, my 8th grader could take Spanish 1, and he could take a science. He could actually do his physical science. Journey Homeschool Academy has it to where you could do the 8th grade, but you can actually what word am I looking for? You can I want to say update, but it's not update, but you can accelerate and do the 9th grade with the 8th grade type thing. So you actually can do your high school credit for that as well. And so we'll see. Depends on if he's up to it or not. Not going to force him to do anything. So last but not least is this SAT reading book. Somebody from Voyage. I mean, I know who she is, but I'm not going to say her name. But she told me about these books. I only bought the reading one because I wanted to see what it looked like. But upon seeing this book, because she did say it was a great resource, I was like, okay, so I'm going to end up getting vocab, math, and there's another one, grammar, for the SAT. And so we will be studying these. I'm actually going to get them IDs from the DMV. Honestly, whenever they want to get their test, that's completely up to them. They have the books. They need to read them. I'm not what's the name, but they do need an ID, like a government ID, so they can sit for the SAT. The other way is to get some type of paper notarized, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. And those little printable homeschool IDs, even though somebody told me too late, I think the same mom, that I could go through HSLDA and get an ID. So that was good to know. If you would like to see the inside of this or any other book that I have shown here today, just let me know and I will make a quick video for you. But as I said, I am presently back in the homeschool streets. But I am probably at this point behind in editing 1, 2, 3. This video will be 4, and then the one for my home rental will be 5. So yeah, I'm about 5 videos behind, and so give me time. They will be coming back on Wednesdays. And any bonus videos I have, I will probably drop them whenever. I just edit them and put them out. So yeah, that's coming down the thing. I figured I'd do this. My laptop is giving me a hard time right now, which is another reason why I'm behind. I wanted to start 2 weeks ago. I will figure out what's going on with my laptop and start getting these videos out to you. So yeah, that's that. These are things that I'm keeping as we move along and get this homeschool back together. It's so crazy in life sometimes or just as a homeschool mom, I feel like my transition from middle to high school and now from high school to growing into being a man and then growing into going to college, it's a hard transition, and you really have to like sit with those feelings, and you really have to let go, and you kind of really have to let them take charge of where their education is going, whether they choose to go to college or not, because now still thinking about the college thing and all that stuff, but in my brain not necessarily feeling like I need to rush it, or they gotta have this perfect score in the SAT, or their transcript has to look so fabulous. Like, it's nice and it's wonderful, but there are a lot of colleges out there in the world, and you don't have to break your pocket to get into a great one. Yes, there are scholarships. Of course, we want to shoot for some scholarships. Yes, we do. But all in all, you don't want to be like trying to push them to go somewhere that they're not even trying to go. And so, yeah. Right now, I have a 17-year-old that wants to go to culinary. I have a 16-year-old that is still undecided, and I have a 12-year-old that is interested in law. So at this point, this is where we're going. Honestly, if my youngest one is still interested in law next year, I will be trying to dual enroll him in his freshman year. Only because I feel like getting a bachelor's is just the tip of the iceberg of law school. And so to cut that whole period of education down, I feel like if he really wants to go into law, he needs to work on getting his associate/bachelor's faster, and then, yeah, than the average person. So, I'm tired, y'all. Just rambling on. But thank you guys for still being here and being a part of this journey on my homeschool, because, yeah, things about to get different. And I will be doing more videos on kind of like planning and cleaning and faith. And so I was saying to myself, like, I'm just one of those people that like to clean. I know everybody's like that and keep things organized. So I feel like I can start to share that on my channel. And so I probably know I have to get better at doing it, but if I don't start somewhere, it won't happen. So wish me as I journey into that space. But yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for just giving me the space to take a break, and I will catch you in my next video. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you can know when all my videos drop. And yeah, holla back. It's like, no. I am so old school. I know people see my videos like, what does she mean? Holla back. I'm being silly. Anyway, But yeah, catch you guys later.